Graphology. What is graphology? Well, graphology is basically taking someone's handwriting and using it to profile an individual. Now, the other night we did a live and we were having trouble with Alexza sending the file over. And when she did send the file over, it ended up being the wrong one, but it still gave the gist exactly what we were doing with the Rex Heuermann letter. So if you haven't watched that video from the other night, go back to it. It's Rex Heuermann with Alexza. And Alexza is a former criminal profiler, handwriting expert, and body language expert. So a lot of people wanted to know about the Rex Heuermann letter. So Alexza ended up sending me the longer version of the video she wanted to show. So I'm going to share that with you guys, and perhaps you too can look at your own handwriting and kind of decipher, like I said, once you understand a bit about graphology and what to look for, it's actually quite interesting. So anyways, I'm going to sit here and share this video with you guys. Please give it a like and a share. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. And thank you, Alexza, for sharing your expertise with us. Anyways, let's get into Alexza's video, you guys.
In order to understand Rex Heuermann's breakdown handwriting analysis, I would like to give a couple definitions. This way I can get the viewer more familiarized with a couple terms. And I know some of them might be self-explanatory, but I still would like to give you a little bit of background. This way you can get a better understanding what I mean. For example, when I say baseline, when I say upper zone, lower zone, you'll get a better idea of what I mean by that. So first is, what is graphology? Graphology is the study of handwriting, what we can tell from a person's writing. The way a person forms his or her letters can reveal traits of their personality. We can trace graphology back to the 1800s, back in England, in a weekly segment in a magazine called Strand Magazine, where a viewer will send their writing sample, and in return, they would do a breakdown. I know a lot of people are going to come for me and say, hey, Alexza, this is it's not admissible in court. It's not 100%. It's a pseudoscience. It's a parlor trick. I know I'm going to hear it. And the only thing I have to say for you is nothing is 100%. I am not here to convince you. I am here to share with you something that I learned and I am doing. And for example, in statement analysis, line detectors, even profiling, graphology, forensic handwriting analysis are used by the FBI, the CIA, policing, and then the corporate world. They're used to narrow their pool of people. For example, if they have 15 suspects, with a handwriting analysis, it can give a better understanding of. In a breakdown, we can be between 70 to 85%. Obviously, there are many things that can alter a handwriting analysis. For example, myself, I was in a car accident and I broke my hand in 14 pieces. My handwriting changed. I used to do calligraphy, so my handwriting slightly changed. You can still see the same formations, but it's slightly different. Obviously, medications might affect. If people have any mental illness, sometimes it changes. Your handwriting changes. Obviously, even when you're intoxicated, your handwriting will change. So let's start with first defining baseline. So basically, what baseline means is if you have here, obviously, I have line paper, and it means that I write, if I have a line, you write on top of that line. Obviously, we would like to show without lines. So for example, so if I draw an imaginary line here, a baseline, you can see that it's not a straight baseline. Same thing here. But if I write here, you can see it's a straight line. So that's what I mean by baseline. It's basically how far a U from that imaginary line. The second one being zones. And there is three. There is the upper zone, the middle zone, and the lower zone. And what I mean is, if you have a baseline and you draw a parallel line from the baseline, your letter should fall between the baseline and a parallel line. For example, the letter, putting a little too much pressure, the letter B, the letter D, and you can see even in capitals. So it runs from the baseline to the top, to the parallel line, and that is the upper zone. Now, the middle zone is if you have obviously your baseline and you draw a line between the parallel line on top and you do one across the middle. Your letter should fall there. For example, your A's, your E's, your I's. So that's what, and the lower zone goes from, again, you have a parallel line to the upper zone, then you have the middle zone, and it goes down. So G, P, Y, J are lower zones. They go past the baseline. And that's what we mean by zones. When I mean upper zone, lower zone, middle zone, that's what I mean. Now, the next one is capital, capital, and I did, obviously, I misspelled it on purpose, so don't think I did it, because I don't know how to spell. No, I misspelled it on purpose. Is you want to see the viewer, you want to see if the person mixes their capitals in places where capitals shouldn't be. We obviously know that capitals go at the beginning of a person's name, but a capital should never be capital shouldn't be here and it shouldn't be here. So that's what we mean by capitals and lowercase. And this misspelled, we will come back to that one. I did it to show you an example. The next one is strokes. Like mom. And this is a little hard for me because I usually don't have I don't have a lot of strokes in my handwriting, but that's what we mean. Like what you can see, strokes right here. And that's what we mean by strokes. Another one is the direction of the slant. Do you write vertically, or do you deviate to the right, or do you deviate to the left? For example, we infer traits, or we can say we traits, or we can do we So you can see one goes to the left, the other one starts one straight, and the other one deviates more towards the right. So that's what we mean. Now, pressure is obviously how hard do you write. Some people have no pressure. Another one is, do people use script? And script and cursive are different. Script is more your letters are connected, and in cursive is more of like a fancy in the letters. So they don't have to match. Anyway, so now going back, if we go back, also we want to be able to see, do people misspell words? Do people leave out, remember, in here that I left out a T, do people leave out letters? That is very important. As also as margins. Do people use margins? No margins, margins, and again, no margins. So margins are also important. We also want to know the size of the letters. Some people write very big. Some people write small, and some people write normal. And also in writing, we want to see, do people put extra letters? Do people, again, do we misspell words? And are they common words to misspell? For example, a lot is one word that a lot of people misspell, and obviously is they're not together, it's a lot. It's misspelled like that. But a lot of people do that. So those mistakes or putting extra letters can also give us an understanding of the education. Does the person have a formal education? Does the person have a basic education? So I hope with this little breakdown, you can understand a little bit more of what I mean by baseline, zones, capital letters being misused, misspells, putting extra letters, strokes, the direction of the slant, the pressure. Do people write cursive or the right script? Do they write big? Do they write small? Are they neat? Are there people that are neat, or people that are not neat? For example, extremes are not good. People that are too perfect, that the handwriting is too perfect, is not a good sign, as people that are way too messy. So it has to be a balance, like anything in between. So I hope with this little tutorial, you can get a better understanding when I do Rex Heuermann's breakdown. And you're going to see that he doesn't have really a lot of misspelled words, but he does use the capitals. He mixes capitals in capitals. So we'll get to that in the next on the live. So I hope this helps you a little bit.
So again, if you have not checked out this live with this thumbnail from the other night about the Rex Heuermann letter, then please go check it out. Thanks again for subscribing, sharing, and liking this video. Have a great day.